Yeah, Moses Abuche is my name. I work with NUCAFE in the finance department. Today I want us to look at loans. We all know, we have all heard about loan, and a loan simply means money which is obtained and supposed to be paid back. When you get money from someone, it's supposed to be paid back, and that really qualifies it to be a loan. Although we need to also be very keen to note that most of the loans are secured. You've heard people talking about collateral security. Collateral security simply means something that you put to secure your loan, that in case of any default, then that security will actually act as a backup and a payment back to the person or to the institution where you got the loan. Default simply means failure to pay. When you fail to pay the loan, then you're in default, or even at some particular points, delaying to pay, you'll actually get into a state of default. But basically, default simply means failure to pay your loan. I would like also us to briefly try to understand where can we be able to get money from, where can we be able to get loans from. We all understand and know there are quite a number of sources where we can be able to get loans from. One of them that we are all aware of is the bank. We all know a bank is the major institution that gives out loans, but of course the other areas where you can get a loan, for example, from your friends, you can get loan from your relative, you can get loan from SACCOs, you can get loan from the village savings and loan associations that are formed within the savings. You can get from individuals. So all those you can actually able to get the money from all those sources. Now, it's also important for us to understand that loans always come at a cost. There's always a cost associated with loans or borrowings. And what we are aware of, a cost simply means what you pay for something, what you pay to be able to get something. For example, if you are to travel, you pay money to reach to a particular destination. So the money that you pay becomes a cost for you to transport cost. So likewise to loans, there also have a cost that come along with it. And one of them that we are all familiar with is the interest rate. The interest rate simply is a cost that you pay for using that money. When someone gives you money, you will expect you to pay interest, because now he will have not used that money for the purpose he was supposed to use, and then he charges you for using his money. The other one also is loans usually come with another cost of stamp duty. Stamp duty, we know this is a tax levied by URI on authentication of some documents. And then we have most of the loans are insured. When you pay your loan, the bank always insures your loan to ensure that when you default, then they can actually be able to go back to the insurance company and try to see how they can compensate, how they can get compensated. And then and then we need, on the side of the interest, because the interest is the major cost of this loan. Stamp duty is about 35,000 shillings, and then insurance is released from about 0.3%. 0.3% of the loan that you obtain. Now, I want to dwell so much on the interest, which is the major part of every loan that you obtain. We need to understand that basically interest can basically be on reducing balance, and it can also be on a flat rate, or what we call floating. Now, what we mean by reducing balance, if the interest on a loan is on reducing balance, that means you are only going to pay interest on the money that you owe at that very particular time. For example, if you borrowed 5 million, and after 1 year you only demanded 3 million. So for a reducing balance, for interest for reducing balance, it will only be charged on this amount which is currently outstanding. You will not be able to pay on the fine. It simply means you already paid part of the principal, and now they are only demanding you 3 million, and therefore the interest will be subjected on what you owe at that very particular moment, not on what you obtain. That is reducing balance, if you say reducing balance. And that is very important, because you end up not paying so much, and even paying not paying for the money that you're not using, because you're only paying for what you owe at that very particular moment. And compared to a floating interest rate, floating interest rate simply means you pay interest based on the original amount that you borrowed. If this is the original amount that you borrowed, if this loan is for 3 years, with a floating interest rate, you'll be paying interest rate on the 5 million. Even if you pay interest, even if you pay part of the principal, let's say 2 million, and you remain with 3 million, still the bank, the financial or the person giving the money will apply interest on the original amount that you borrowed. And that makes it very, very expensive because you'll even be paying interest on the money that you're not using. So you need to pay key attention in terms of those two interest rates. Always know what kind of interest that you're paying, reducing or floating. And that's why I emphasize and encourage that we all try as much as we can to obtain a repayment schedule on all this on the loan that we get. Always agree, and then you're able to get your repayment schedule. That will show you exactly that this is how you're going to be paid, and also it will show you which kind of costs that are come along with it, and it will help you plan very, very well. And also within the loan document that we sign, most of us when we get a loan, we run very fast and say sign the loan agreement very fast because we want to get the money. Take time to read the loan agreement, because you might find that instead of reducing balance, it's a floating balance. Then you realize it later. So pay key attention to the kind of interest that you're paying. Also, the interest rate can be fixed or variable. Now, a fixed interest rate simply means interest rate is applied once for the entire loan period. For example, if you agree with the bank, interest rate is 13%. This interest rate of 13%, if it comes at a fixed interest rate, will be applied for the entire loan period, or let's say 3 years. So it will not change. This interest rate will not change. So you pay 13% for the entire duration of the loan. Come back for a variable interest rate. Now, a variable interest rate variable interest rate keeps changing. So you may realize that if you agreed 13% and your loan is for 3 years, for a variable interest rate, it will keep changing. So varying can be up and down. So you may realize that when you get the second year, the interest rate is 14%. Now in the second year, and maybe in the third year, it has come back to 13%, or even 12% now in the third year. So now, of course, the advantage on this is one, if it reduces, then you're likely to pay less. If it goes up, then you're likely to pay what? To pay high interest rate. And that's why always it's important that we also understand, is it variable or it is what? It is fixed. Now for variable interest rates, you might end up paying more. You might end up paying more compared it to a fixed interest rate. And also with a variable interest rate, it might be very difficult for you to plan your repayment really very well, because you're not certain what exactly the interest rate will be in the next year or the following year. But for the fixed interest rate, you're really going to plan your repayment for the entire loan period at an agreed interest rate. So that's the difference between the different rates that are actually in the market. So take a lot of keen attention to actually understand those different interest rates. Reducing balance, floating, fixed interest, and variable interest. Try to look at what exactly is in your loan document that you've signed with the bank. One also, I would like to again come down and really try to let us understand that when you go to a bank to borrow money, you go to borrow money for a particular purpose. And that simply means you should be able to use that money for the very purpose for which you borrowed it. Otherwise, it might lead again to default penalty. For example, if you went to borrow money to start a shop, it should actually be, this money should actually be for the purpose of starting a shop, and not to buy a land or buy a car. Because the moment you use this money, 5 million, which you told the bank that I'm going to use it to start a show, and the bank will advise on how the money is going to come back and you're able to repay this kind, then you go and use this 5 million to buy a car. Now already there's a mismatch in your cash flow, because the cash flow simply means the money that comes in and out. So your cash flows here will actually be altered. That the cash flows coming from the shop will not be the same cash flows kind of cover to be coming from the and now there's a likelihood that you're likely going to default on this loan, which will be very, very dangerous thing for the bank. And then at the end of it all, the bank will come and monitor and find that instead of using it to start a shop, used it to buy a car, and they call that is diversion of funds. You use the loan for different purpose for which it was what it was planned for, and that makes it a very, very big thing for you. So always stick to the purpose for which you borrow the loan, and be very clear from the start that I wanted this money for this purpose, and stick to that purpose. Don't go to the bank asking for this purpose and yet the actual use of the loan is for this one. You may find that the bank also has loan for cars, and they have also different kind of what schedule and that kind of. So if you went to the real purpose for it, then the bank will give you based on the use of that particular money. Thank you very much. That is what I wanted us to share today. Thank you.